This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Loot Crate. If you're on a magical quest for epic gear, housewares, and collectibles, look no further than Loot Crate, as they offer an epic range of pop culture items for less than $20 a month. If you're more of a fanatical fashionista, then Lootwear is the monthly wearables and accessories subscription that will fill your closet with cult classics and your favorite franchises. And if you want to get fancy, we all want to get fancy, get a bigger box with even bigger loot with Loot Crate DX. Listeners, ready your wands, pre-measure your potions, and get ready for November's enchanting theme, magical. They've cast a powerful ancient spell to deliver you 100% exclusive crate items featuring bewitching items from Doctor Strange, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, I cannot wait. I bet you can't either, which is why you need to act now. You have until the 19th at 9 o'clock p.m. to subscribe and receive this month's crate. And if you miss that cutoff date, your magical journey is over. So make sure you head over to lootcrate.com/critical, enter the code critical, and save $3 off any new subscription today. Dear Critical Hit crew, my name is Joshua. Little Sparkle and Randus are tied for the best. Apparently, Rodrigo, that's supposed to be a cue for you to go into your the best routine.
Oh, well, sorry, I wasn't ready.
Okay, Little Sparkle and Randus are tied for the best.
The best.
Question for all of you: what other campaigns have you played in since Critical Hit started? Tell us about your characters. Let's start with Rob. Since Critical Hit started, so in the last 6 years,
God,
what other campaigns have you played in?
Pokemon Tabletop Adventures.
Pokemon Tabletop Adventures was one.
That's a thing? That's awesome.
It's a Fate system. Is that a Fate system?
No.
Or is that a...
It's an overly complicated system.
it's a bit complicated, but it's tries to translate the Pokemon game to a tabletop one as best as possible. It does a decent job of it. And
so do you play as trainers or as Pokemon?
As trainers.
And that's kind of part of the issue, because you get all the trainer abilities as they level up, in addition to all your different Pokemon abilities, and so you got 2 different turns every round, and
it is weird to keep track of everything. Like I liked it. I think the game's designed for way fewer players than what we ended up with.
Yeah, I would really like to give Magimonsters a try, because it seems to do very much similar things, but a lot more directly and easier.
You guys did Atomic Robo, right?
There's Modern City.
We did Modern City. That was the Fate system.
That's true.
That's still a Critical Hit.
I've got Sixth Gun.
It's just asking us of ones that we've played since Critical Hit started.
Yep. We recently played Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. Yep.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I don't know. What else have we played? Rodrigo, what about you? Have you played any other campaigns?
What was your character in Call of Cthulhu?
Can't tell you. It's secret.
Oh, is it coming up?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say this. We were all investigators.
Were we?
I don't know about
you all go insane?
Were we investigating?
No, not everybody went insane. How about that? That's a spoiler for you.
That is a spoiler.
Some of us went insane twice.
Yes.
That's unusual.
Rodrigo, what about campaigns you've played in?
I like this. It's like, well, we don't got enough investigators in this team, so I'm going to play 2 investigators. They both go down the crapper. Right?
Turn 3.
Yes. Yeah, but I guess that's to be expected.
Yeah. Rodrigo, what about you?
Well, I don't think I've actually played any games since Critical Hit started, other than I did play in Rob's game for a while, and that was running concurrently. But I think we've talked about my robot cleric before.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. I got to be a robot cleric and smash things with a hammer. I tanked an owlbear once. That was fun.
Sam, what about you?
I played in a Exalted 2-shot that Rodrigo ran that basically ended in tears when he was like, I'm not running this anymore. We're all just like, no, Rodrigo, run more Exalted for us, please. I play a lot of Pathfinder, so I'm like in a game set in Osirian, which is like kind of their ancient Egypt situation, and I play a Ifrit, which are like fire elementals, sorcerer, who's, a master of casting fireball and meteor swarm.
Mm-hmm. And then you did something at Gen Con, right? Or was that the same thing?
Gen Con, I was in that. That was a Pathfinder tournament I was in, which was a 2-shot where I played a druid, which was really fun. Where we all started off as neutral and got a choice at the end of the first session to either go good or go evil. And apparently, my team was the only team that went evil. So that was,
What?
it was a good time. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised more people didn't go evil. They gave us like a huge penalty in the final fight because we went evil.
Wow.
Maybe they thought everybody else would be evil.
Yeah, was
What?
that? Did you get a huge penalty just for choosing evil, or because no one else did?
Basically, I mean, so it was for choosing evil because the final fight was against devils or demons.
Okay.
And so, like, if you were good, you got like smite evil and like protection from
Yes.
evil. But because we're evil, we didn't have those things, and so it was kind of a blowout.
Somewhat lame.
Matthew, what about you?
All the games that I've played since Critical Hit have been recorded on the Critical Hit podcast. Majorspoilers.com. # Critical Hit.
So yeah, I'm also playing this like very hack and slashy dungeon crawly Pathfinder game, and I'm trying out Arcanist in that, which is a fusion wizard sorcerer. So it kind of casts the way like wizards in 5th Ed do, where you have like a certain number of spells you
pool.
prepare. Huh?
Yeah. A pool of spells.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Cool. All right.
Which is
Spell
pretty
bucket, if you will.
Well, there you go, Joshua. I
Yeah.
hope that answers your question. We've played a lot of games, wide and varied. If you have questions, podcast at Majorspoilers.com. That's it for this week's mailbag. This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Harry's. Listeners, I've been using the Harry's blades for years. You know this. I talk about it quite a bit. I just love these blades. They work really well. They give me a close, comfortable shave, a shave that I've not had with a blade in a long, long time. Now, Harry's is so confident in the quality of their products that they're offering customers a chance to try the shave kit for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. And listeners, if you use the code Critical Hit on checkout when you go to harrys.com and you enter the code Critical, they will throw in a special offer. Listeners of this show will get a free post-shave balm with their order when they enter the promo code Critical Hit at checkout. Oh, the post-shave balm is really kind of nice. It's got a nice smell to it. It soothes and relieves your skin afterwards. It helps reduce redness. So go to harrys.com right now and enter the code Critical Hit at checkout to claim your free trial set and your post-shave balm. That's harrys.com and use the code Critical Hit. This is a great deal if you ask me, and I think that you'll get a kick out of using a Harry's razor. So thank you, Harry's, for sponsoring this episode of Critical Hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and listening and sharing this episode with a friend. Hey, look, we can't spread the good word ourselves. I mean, we're only 6 people, and we can tell people, and obviously we're telling you each and every week about this show. But what we need you to do is go out into the world and interact with some other people and tell them about Critical Hit. We get emails all the time from people that say, hey, my friend got me hooked on your show, and now I'm up to here, and I'm loving it so far. Well, just imagine if that was 5,000 more people that were doing that each and every week. Oh, man, the things we could do. So get out there, spread the good word about Critical Hit, and we will continue to tell you an exciting story with Rodrigo. Hey, Rodrigo.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
Oh, you know, hanging out, playing D&D.
Yeah? Anything good?
It's been pretty decent.
Yeah? What's going on with the party right now?
They're walking.
All right.
Always
Wow.
exciting.
That
Hey,
happened.
That's
they
right.
based like most of the Lord of the Rings
Nice.
series on walking.
That's why I was saying it.
Yep.
All right. Next thing you know,
That's
we'll be in the
right.
Great
This,
Mirkwood, and
Just wait for our trip back.
Yeah, this.
we'll just ride eagles on the
this
way back.
season. This season has been hell on our helicopter budget. It's a good
We've
thing
had to
Steven
use
bought
New
those
Zealand to
drones.
double for all these countries.
Pretty much. All right. So yes, the party has been traveling to a place called Bloodletter's Pass
Sounds
for some time, and talking to the people that are with them. Because, when I say the party, I mean what did we decide, 11 of you?
11 of us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Fellowship of 11.
Yep.
From the land of
So-
Atlantis.
We'll... I guess if anybody else wants to ask anybody else anything, we'll do that first.
I've got nothing right now. I'm sure something will pop up.
It'll come around. I have nothing at this moment.
Okay. So you guys travel for a while, and you arrive at Bloodletter's Pass without too much incident. When you do, though, as you're kind of basically coming up the pass, and an arrow, which is clearly meant to be a warning arrow, flies by whoever's in the lead. Probably Sakar, since he's been naturing it up.
Naturing it up. That does seem like a good place.
Yep.
Is it one of those cool moments where you get to like knock it out of the air with a sword, or just dodge?
No, it's clearly meant to strike like the stone by him. It's not actually aimed at him, so he'd actually have to like goalie dive at it to knock it out of the air.
Well, there's no sense in that.
Yeah, that's barely cool at all. That's only cool in one place.
Yeah, that wouldn't be cool all the way through.
Yeah.
Stop the group.
Yep. So Sakar and probably the couple of people that are next to him can see down in this pass, and it's pretty small. It's essentially big enough to house two pretty decrepit-looking buildings, what used to be a garden, and just a bunch of moss, with some kind of old, mostly dead trees that are also covered in moss. But at the center of this place, there are about there are a dozen elves standing back to back, basically in a circle with their backs turned towards the circle, kind of at alert. They have either scimitars or spears or bows and arrows out and ready to go. And you can see that as you basically came up into the pass, one of them shot a warning arrow to keep you from advancing any further.
Are they within basically earshot, though?
Yeah.
Okay, then, Little Sparkle will say, hail!
One of them moves his eyes in her direction. There's something here.
What do you mean,
What?
something?
We're not sure. There's a group of creatures.
Well, we can look into it for you.
Or we could
We're
all
supposed to
look into
rendezvous
it
with Lalonde down
together.
here.
They just kind of stay there and don't really move. You can see that they're all kind of like searching the buildings, the trees, the moss, the rocks.
Do we see anything?
You can all give me perception checks. So, Aurum very briefly manages to spot something moving in a building, at
That's
which point...
10
Yeah,
less than
that's
what
10
it actually
less,
was.
sorry.
Oh, then never mind. So here's basically what happens. Everybody kind of flexes their knees, like kind of go into like search mode, at which point Randus gets the bright idea of like getting his new like shoulder mounted spotlight on and essentially turns it on. It's not facing the right direction and just blinds Sakar. So Sakar just sees like little tiny dots in front of him right now.
Ugh.
And you can all like, you don't even have to see her. You can just feel the inspector's like gaze like drifting over to the Queen's rebellious daughter and then back to the party.
This is what you put our faith in. I'm just impressed with the stealth check on whatever it is we're looking for. That a 31 is missing it.
Yeah. Well, consider there's a bunch of elves here and they can't spot it.
Fair. She'll say to the elves, "What put you on alert?"
It's something unnatural. We have talismans and they reacted to it. We can't even see it.
Randus, could you make something that's like smoke or dust? If it's invisible, maybe we can find its footprints that way.
Yeah, I probably should be able to whip something up here. One smoke bomb coming up.
Borrow Orum's talcum powder.
Yes.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. It's got to go better.
Does it?
Well, it's not an at one. 34.
Right.
Sure.
That's not too bad. So what's the plan here? You make a little glitter dust grenade,
Yeah, that sounds good.
and then what are you doing with it?
Chuck it at
Chuck
random.
Pretty much. Hopefully, just start. Ladiso sprays it around the periphery, point it outwards, and see if we see either something form of an outline with glitter, or hopefully, run from it. And
So you guys have not advanced into the past proper, right? Like nobody said we rush in and join the elves in the circle. So
No.
you are essentially, several yards away from the elves. Like, are you gonna like spray it kind of laterally to where the elves are? Or are you gonna just chuck it into the elves and hope that the glitter expands outwards from that? Or
If you give it to me, I can try to sneak forward. Hopefully, it won't be able to see me.
sounds like a plan. Give
I will
up.
take the grenade.
okay,
Twist this end, and it should start spraying from there.
Okay. I will try to stealth up to the elves.
okay.
Do not point towards face.
Do not
Noted.
taunt Happy Fun Grenade.
That'll be a 36.
Okay. Yep. Little Sparkle ducks behind a rock and starts making her way towards the elves. Yeah, you can basically duck behind some rocks and then move up behind a tree, and essentially you should be able to jump over to where they are and chuck the grenade if you so desired.
Cool. I will do that.
Okay. So as you jump towards the nearest elf, you see that she is wearing a necklace, and as basically in your arc, as you approach, you can see that this necklace, which is made of like leaves and berries, starts to wilt as like in seconds as you approach. And she basically looks down at it, and essentially the arm that you have the grenade in catches it and like grabs you by the collar.
Ah!
Yeah.
And
So we all-
basically looks you right in the eyes and says, "What are you?"
Kenku?
Like, she's just kind of like grabbing onto you, and like the other elves all just kind of like tense up.
Okay. Whatever it is, unless something really weird has happened, it's probably not reacting to me. Maybe the thing is following me. Maybe it snuck onto me.
I think it did.
Oh. Thanks. I guess I did ask you to scout with me. Okay. Oh, that's what you're reacting to. Okay. Don't worry about it. We've got that under control.
I don't understand. You have to explain yourself.
Okay. We're traveling with a lycanthrope.
Why?
Because she's an ally.
Well, that doesn't explain why our wards detected something long before you showed up.
Oh, wait, so it's not the lycanthrope that you're reacting to?
Well, this happened before you came here.
Oh, okay. But it just got worse when I approached with the lycanthrope. So, okay. Well, then I guess we have a problem.
I don't think so. I think my people are here.
Oh, got it. It turns out wait, really? Can you reach out to them and tell them to why are they here?
They were meeting us here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I told you I was going to tell Cho about it.
You told me you were going to tell Cho. You didn't tell me Cho was sending reinforcements.
Well, Cho does what she wants.
Fair enough. Okay. Everything's fine. The lycanthropes are with us. Enemy of the salamander's coils. Strange bedfellows. Can we all just get along?
Why don't you give me a diplomacy check?
You get a +1 to this since I'm nearby.
Yep.
Sweet.
Okay.
It's like cats. You can see Cat from the corner of your eye, so you're better at this.
That's great.
It's giving very reassuring hand gestures.
Oh, I've got a 35.
It's more likely
All right.
rolling his eyes and shaking his head.
Yes. Yep. The elves seem to dial the tension down, maybe a whole notch out of the 35 that they're up. But they're elves, so they're usually at about 20 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the elf holding little Sparkle lets her go.
Thank you.
I think we enter the pass.
Yep.
Or at least Sakar does.
Yeah, if Sakar enters the pass, then the Deva do as well. Like, they're for their own individual reasons, they seem to be okay with this. Like,
Sakar's
this is good enough for them.
Sakar's going to be sorting casually.
Okay.
In that there are swords. And those swords could do things, but they're not going to do things.
So are you talking like just hands-on scabbards, or
yes.
or are you actually drawing your weapons?
No, not going to draw. That seems like bad.
Okay.
But prepared to draw should something else occur that does not need to happen.
Okay.
Okay.
So, does the rest of the party approach with Sakar?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
'Kay.
I heard Little Sparkle say friends.
All right. So you guys come down, and as you do, the elves kind of shift themselves so that they can like accommodate you and still be in a little paranoid circle. At which point a really kind of a bedraggled looking old man appears in the doorway of the building.
Sparkle will nod to the old man. Assume you're one of Joe's?
I am. Are you Little Sparkle?
I am.
I've heard a lot about you.
Well, thanks. What should I call you?
You can call me Zolitzi.
Well, welcome. How many are traveling with you?
There are 6.
And what are your orders?
Choa wants us to help you attack the Salamander's coil facility.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming, and please thank her for her assistance.
Okay.
She'll look to the elf that grabbed her. Who's leading this band?
Another elf steps up. This one is male. He has a spear. He says, I am Ediloli of the Porphyry Mountain Band.
I'm Little Sparkle of the Free Enterprise.
We were told to meet you here. We did not realize you had dealings with lycanthropes.
Sorry for the confusion.
Oh, that's all right.
Can you give us any information on the facility?
He kind of like shifts his body just a little bit, and all the elves seem to like relax completely. They just like put their weapons away and then just don't seem quite as like flexed as they were before.
Cool.
We know where it is.
Great.
There's a human city on the desert side of the mountains. We've been there a few times, but it's probably been a good 50 years since any elven band has passed by it. There's usually nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed any surge in movements recently?
We have.
Do you have an approximate timeline or numbers or forces?
We do not. They have been taking passes that we don't frequent. So it's unlikely. We have spotted large shipments of supplies, though. So it's quite likely that there are, by our estimates, upwards of 100 people being fed in that facility. Now, as to how many of those would be soldiers or scientists or whatever, we couldn't tell you.
But you do know
Fair.
which passes they've been using?
We do, at least in our estimation, they must have used those passes since getting through the mountains, there's only so many places that you would be able to send food and supplies through and guarantee it. Because our movements through the mountains are about subsistence, we usually frequent the passes where we can forage. These passes are barren. They've been blasted by the desert sands for quite some time, so we rarely ever go there.
I don't suppose you know of any lookout or ambush points that would give us a view of those passes?
We do, but as I understand it, you may be pressed for time, so setting up an ambush without knowing whether your quarry has already been through there may be a waste of time.
Reasonable. Have you seen evidence of tanks?
We have. At least we suspect that some tanks have passed through here some time ago. And that is largely because we've spotted camps in some of the other passes. And we found some tools and materials that we believe they would use to maintain them.
But no idea what numbers there might be.
No, like I said, it's been several decades since any elven group has passed through there, so this whole time they could have been moving people in and out. It's impossible to know until we get there. And he kind of tilts his head and looks at the group. Is that where we're heading?
It would seem so.
How far are we from it?
Should be less than a week's travel, assuming we take the highest possible pass.
Then we should leave.
Very well. We're prepared to travel if you are.
Are we?
You guys are a little tired. You basically just walked for a day to get here.
Do we need to... I mean, can we travel further? Do we need to break a camp? Do we...
I guess since there are buildings here, this is a better place to camp than we're likely to find elsewhere.
It seems defensible.
Indeed. All right. Then let's get some food, get some rest, leave them.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys make camp.
All right.
There's a montage.
Yep.
Shows making camp.
Sleeping bags and cooking food and sitting down and taking off boots and taking the rocks out of those boots.
Killing a scorpion with your sword because a scorpion shouldn't be there. Oh, wait, is the song not over? Okay, I'm sorry. Take it, Cat!
He's already asleep.
Oh. Cat sleeps.
Your
Very
musical,
quietly.
your musical voice just
Guy's
knocked him
doing
right out.
something really amusing, but he's invisible, so none of us get to enjoy it.
Yep.
Sleep! Yes, lovely.
All right. So, yeah, this little place basically is now a small village, seeing as how there are how many people now?
How many elves were there?
Yeah.
They're like
12.
10,
12 elves, so there's
elves.
23 of us.
There's
No,
23
there's
people.
29.
29.
Because there were 6 verbal abundance.
So 7 truants, 7 rats, 3 deva, and 12 elves, right?
Yes.
I thought there were only Six
Well-
rats?
Plus Maba.
Oh, right, yes.
We brought a rat.
Yep, you brought a rat to the party.
Yep, so 29.
Because it's not a party without a rat.
Yep.
And also Ket.
Cat's the life of the party.
He's the only reason why the party exists.
He's like the DJ. Tanner. That's my one.
All right, but, straighten up. Don't do it again.
Yeah, no, I'm serious too.
How rude.
I see. Wait, what are your other catchphrases?
Most of my
That's-
catchphrases happen like Steven edits out. They're just streams of cuss words.
Yeah, fuck you, Matthew. Shut up, Matthew. Matthew, would you please shut up?
It's weird how, you'll hear the shows and you never hear Rodrigo say his normal catchphrase. You never hear that on the air. I don't know why.
Because I like Rodrigo.
Good night,
Yeah.
nerds.
Bing, 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 bang. Bleep, bleep,
Yeah.
bleep, bleep, bleep.
Hoobly boobly.
Yep.
See, that one I'll leave in.
My name's Steven. Hi.
Bleep, bleep,
Hubble
blap.
of a dub
Snarf
dub.
is the best Thundercat.
Yarf, yarf. Hello, dum dum.
I know it was
Boom.
a joke, but I lost respect just hearing it.
Wiggity, wig, wig, woo. Phantom Menace was the best Star Wars.
Oh, stop talking!
I got a Sebulba action figure.
Deep, deep, doop. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, we're done here.
You can't
All right.
see it, but I'm making a very sad face.
You've broken her heart.
So there you guys are in a
Really weird campsite.
really weird campsite.
Does everybody break off into their component groups?
They do pretty much.
Oh, this party is doomed to fail.
Yeah, the elves are kind of off on their own. The rats kind of disappear into the darkness.
If only
The
we had
Devar
an
is sticking
extra-
with you guys, but it's hard to tell if it's just because they want to keep an eye on you.
Hmm.
Probably that.
Fair enough.
The fourth oldest inspector doesn't get to do her little shake of her head and her sad face if we're not there.
Yeah.
She probably does sad trombones in the back of her neck.
As she does, she can. Her umbrella can do that. She just opens up the umbrella.
All right. I'm serious too.
Yep.
Okay.
So there you go. Just sort of three camps within a larger camp.
Boy, oh boy. Hopefully everybody offers someone up to for each
Take a
watch.
Yeah, we'll have to establish that. That
Because
totally
with this
happened.
large of a party, you just can't have one.
One from each group
I will stay up.
all night.
Sure. What am I going to do? What say you, elf party?
One of the the leader will stay up. Ediloli. I'll take first watch with you.
Great.
Do the sewer kin have a volunteer?
Yep, a rat comes out.
Hard to tell which one it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will go patrol the perimeter then throughout the night.
I will help Tekiato with his camping setup, as I assume he has absolutely never done this.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's had a few days to kind of figure out what Big Teach is doing.
Sure.
But yeah, he's just there's little obvious things like not like sleeping directly on top of a sharp rock with your sleeping bag, and just being like, oh, I don't know, I didn't want to move the rock in case they're tracking us.
I know it's nice and warm to lie here next to the fire, but you don't want to lie too close that you could roll into the fire.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. He doesn't get out of his sleeping bag. He just kind of rolls away from it.
That's adorable.
Yeah, sorry I'm so bad at this. I haven't had a lot of experience.
Oh no, it's okay. Everyone's got a first time out in the woods. I personally prefer city life myself.
Yeah, me too.
The food tends to be a lot better too.
I don't know. I mean, dried fish isn't bad. That's sometimes when I'm working and I don't get a chance to cook anything, that's always handy. So I'm pretty used to it.
That's good. I spent months on a boat with these guys where there's basically nothing but dried fish and dried fruit, so that got pretty old.
Oh yeah, no, that would get old. Well, maybe there's like some ponds around here or something that we can fish in at some point when it's light.
I can, but Sakar is actually pretty good at that, so he'd be happy to fish us up some dinner.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we have elves here. Those guys are good at hunting, right? Maybe they can get a mountain cow.
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, it's not? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't eat it anyway, but
yeah.
everybody else.
That might make you yak.
Oh. Wah, wah, Brian. Wah, wah. For shame.
Yeah,
Actually, that's a really good one.
That isn't
The
bad.
elves have a different talisman that wilts. Like, a pun has been uttered.
My work is done here.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Now we can sleep.
Randus ascends to his epic destiny.
Unster.
Yeah.
Patrol.
Patrolling. Patchouli.
All right. You want to give me a perception check for Orem with a +2 bonus?
Sure.
Elves are around. They creep you out.
You said 2?
An additional 2 to your bonus.
23.
Well, Orem definitely doesn't spot anything as he patrols.
And then it eats him.
Honestly, at this stage, it would be difficult to conceive of something that would be scarier than the things you're hanging out with nowadays.
I resemble that remark.
A little bit.
We're ambushed by vampires and were-rats.
They've teamed up together to kill the elves.
Everything.
Now you have vampire elves. Holy crap.
Ah.
Hey, speaking of food and vampires,
Yeah.
at some point during the nightly proceedings, would there possibly be any, I don't know, animalia, like a mountain cow, perhaps? Or some
Sure.
such
You can track one down pretty easily.
We call those land manatees.
Landites for short. So at some point during the night, Sakar may sort of do his thing where he sort of drifts away into nothingness and comes
Where are you
back.
going?
I'm drifting away into nothingness. You can't see me.
Is that one of your vampire powers?
Well, Orem is out on watch, so
Yeah, but he's got to roll a +5.
Halt, who doesn't go there?
I'll tell you what. Roll me a stealth check. If you beat his 23, then you're home free.
Oh boy, I love stealth. I don't even remember what my stealth is. I do.
That shouldn't be too bad. I'm pretty sure your dex is decent.
Oh wow, I
I think
haven't
you got
done one of
Rachel
these.
bonus to it too.
It's a stealth check. Everybody rolling a stealth check. And by everybody, I mean me. And I don't remember how to do that.
And Steven, can you check if what sort of vision Orem has?
Low light.
Okay.
Hey, what you
Wow.
doing?
Yep.
Where are you going?
I'll be back.
You gonna go do your vampire thing?
There's no need to shout.
You're on the other side of the camp. You rolled really low.
Hey, keep it canon.
You had to get under that tree branch.
Zakar will roll really low and cross over.
Okay.
I shall return. I'm simply examining the nearby terrain.
Okay. Only drink what you can. Don't drink more than you can eat, or whatever they say.
There's no need to shout, Master Rivendorn.
It's the echoey chamber of this canyon.
Perhaps my nature doesn't need to be everyone's knowledge, wouldn't you say?
Too late, says the elf.
And I stealth away with
Okay.
a 5. It's the best stealth ever.
So, your friend there,
Yes.
he's a vampire,
Seems mostly harmless.
and you have regular dealings with lycanthropes.
No, not really. He's my first.
No. He's not a lycanthrope.
I mean,
I meant the were-rats.
no, they're also my first. It's so complicated. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I see.
I hand him some pods of casting
Oh.
and some elven granola. Here, you probably have better use of this than I do.
Well, thank you, but we're fully supplied.
Oh well, please take more. You can never be too prepared to eat this lovely granola of yours.
All right.
So, how are you guys doing in the mountains?
We're fine. Ever since the mountain ghosts broke up the coil operations up here, it's been a lot easier.
There hasn't been retaliation from the coil?
Not as such. We assume that the coil has moved on to other things, and judging from your mission here, I assume that's what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. I bet you've never seen a party like this before, have you?
We have not. Elves tend to keep to ourselves, so it's hard enough to see interactions with humans, much less Kenku, Minotaur, and he kind of looks past Orem at the camp. Whatever else you're bringing.
I know. Eladrin are kind of the same way. I was doing fine until they dragged me back into their lives.
Mm. So, do you hail from the Feywild?
I do, actually. It's not quite the same as it was.
You know, your group is quite strange. Under different circumstances, it would be fascinating to simply have met an Eladrin. So, I apologize that my reaction to you was a lot more muted. It really is great to interact with one of our little brothers.
Oh, well, them, yes, thank you.
So you just got caught up with some humans and
Half-elves and Kinku and whatever that is, and the vampire guy. Yeah, it's a story that goes back, oh boy, 6-7 years now, when we were trying to, when the moon fell from the sky, or tried to, we put a stop to that, and then we had to deal with the mess that followed after that. I mean, I was just going on a simple mission to go deliver some materials for my teacher, and one thing led to another, and here we are today.
Mm.
I would listen to pods 1 through 8, 27, 56, and then 120 through 172.
I see. Well, I mean, I have a very long trek to work every day, so I'm sure it'll be great.
I hear they keep people company and enthralled with our adventures.
I look forward to it.
And if you have a short commute to your job, you can listen to half of it on your way there, half of it on your way home.
Oh.
My meta sense is tingling.
Well, that is good.
Well, bite it. Suck its blood. Anyway, Ket over there, he's part elf, part Eladrin.
Part elf, part Eladrin?
It's complicated.
That seems unlikely.
Yeah. A lot of things about Ket seem unlikely. Arandis has got a robot arm.
Yeah, I thought I spotted something strange.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, given what we normally deal with, believe it or not, he's the most unsettling thing around here.
Well, you know, back on the central continent, there is an entire city of nothing but mechanical creatures.
Horrifying.
It can be. You know, one time in our party, we had a 3/4 orc as part of our party. Mm-hmm.
Not many orcs in this continent.
No. I noticed that beyond the monsters, the monster town, that were changed by the water that they were drinking, I've noticed that there's not a lot of diversity in the number of creatures around here.
Well, there certainly isn't if you stick to the mountains.
Right. We came up from the river up all the way down to New Malcal.
Yeah. We, from what I understand, the elves of the southern continent are unusual in that we tend to stay in the mountains. If you were to travel deeper into the wetlands of the continent, you would see some much more striking variety of creatures. Some of them quite dangerous.
Oh, really?
Mm.
So all of the elves just live here in the mountains?
Our bands do. Some elves live closer to the foot of the mountains, and some others do wander deeper into the continent, but it's rare. Up until very recently, this was a place that was just fine for us. We could find enough game and scavenge enough to survive without any problems, at least up until the Coil showed up, or rather, until the Coil got interested in us.
Why are they interested in you?
They were essentially attempting to enslave us. This is what the mountain ghost stopped.
And were they having you do the labor, or were they wanting to use your abilities for other things?
Labor, I think they have several facilities in the mountains, so they just assumed having elves do the heavy lifting in that sense would have been a lot easier. They actually had several facilities where they were keeping elves frozen.
What?
And that's right. And attempting to separate out the children and begin indoctrinating them.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yes, the Salamander's Coil is a horrible organization.
Well, we know that, yes. Do you think had they come and asked if you would just assist them, that you would have cooperated, or? Was
I
it
suppose
their
that's
whole
true,
mandate of
but-
just slash and burn?
We have had pleasant enough interactions with the humans before. In fact, it took us a long time to really realize that the Salamander's Coil is a separate organization that doesn't speak for the local humans, as it were, but
Mhm.
just very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
To us, they seem no different than kings, but to humans, they're something else entirely.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, hopefully we can put a stop to their actions and hopefully hit them hard enough that that it will disrupt them and cause their organization to fall apart.
Well, the Mountain Elves have not really involved themselves in open warfare in a long time, so any sort of attack on the core of the coil into New Mawakal would be very difficult for us to coordinate. We're not really interested as long as they leave us alone, but we're certainly happy to help.
Well, I'm sure everyone here would be would say thank you for your assistance. You know, we met many different groups of elves when I was in the Central Continent.
Yes?
Yeah, there were some elves that lived in the was it the Black Woods?
The Black Oak Woods.
The Black Oak Woods, yes.
Mhm.
And then another group of elves that we met much further on, which is where the mountain ghost came from.
Right.
We got to
Yeah,
interact
she
with
spoke
her
of
family.
her old band, the Everdeep Band.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And now I've gotten to meet mountain elves.
And what are your thoughts on them?
Unfortunately, I have not had a chance to spend a significant amount of time with you yet. You seem pleasant enough.
Well, thank you. You seem pleasant enough as well. You're the
thank
only
you.
Eladrin I've ever met.
Well, there's not many of us left in the Feywild,
Yes, I had heard about that as well.
but we're slowly rebuilding. Of course, there are a lot of Eladrin still in the in a different plane. But you know, if you ever get a chance to visit the Feywild, be very careful.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else or who wants to take the second watch? I mean, Orem literally has to sit down for 4 hours. He
Mhm.
can't actually patrol the camp the whole night.
I can take a watch.
Okay. Anything you want to do while you're keeping watch?
Is there anyone keeping watch with me?
Yeah, there'll be an elf and a rat.
I'll probably just chat with them about
Oh wait, as we're switching off rotations.
Mhm.
Hey, Sakar is out doing his thing. So when
okay.
you hear something approaching, or maybe you won't, but
stab him with my dagger.
that would be a wise choice initially. But then I
Cool.
think it would be detrimental on the back end. So just find out if it's Sakar first, but be aware that he's out doing his, and Orem puts his fingers up to his mouth, doing his thing.
Doing his thing.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Good night.
Good night.
Is Orem ever not going to be a giant dork?
No.
Apparently not.
Good. All right. Orem,
So we'll
Orem
say
goes over
that-
and sits and starts his meditation.
Okay. So we'll say that early into her shift, Little Sparkle does spot Sakar coming back.
I'll wave at him.
I'll wave in return.
Good hunting.
Acceptable.
Okay then. Well, enjoy your sleep.
Thank you. How many shifts will there be?
There should be just one more shift.
If I go to sleep right now and I wake up, would that be the third shift or no?
It would be, but you basically stayed up through the first shift as well.
So sleep is probably a plan.
Yeah, if you took an additional shift, then you wouldn't get enough sleep.
I'll take
Okay,
the third
that
shift.
was what I was wondering.
Okay.
I'll ask the elf. So what do those necklaces of yours react to?
Unnatural things, mostly. At least traditional unnatural things. She shrugs. Our elders have been making them for many, many years. I think there used to be a lot more creatures of the night around here, as it were. So the tradition always stuck. I've never actually seen this happen. That's partially why we were so ill at ease.
Well, you're largely, I suppose, lucky then that it hasn't been an issue. Most some lycanthropes are not nearly as nice. She'll nod to the were-rat she's with.
Yes, I suppose that's true. We've just never encountered any, and the legends all paint them in a very bad light.
Oh, I can certainly understand that. I've fought quite a few myself, and from what I understand, it's kind of a struggle to keep under control, especially for people who've just been bitten.
Mm-hmm. Well,
There is a-
from what I understand, elves cannot contract lycanthropy, but that just means that it leads to a slow and painful death.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like you said, it has been a long time since any of this has happened.
What else have you been dealing with besides the coil then?
In recent memory, it's pretty much been the coil. Before that, there were some creatures that we believe came out of that large city that you all came from that had been scouring the mountains, but we managed to herd them all into a single valley. So they seem content to just live there.
What kind of creatures?
It's very large lizard-like creatures. Multiple eyes.
Like kind of eel-like too?
I suppose long, slender, but very large. Maybe the size of a horse. With maybe an additional an additional body length of tail.
When did this happen?
I would say maybe 20 years ago.
Where did you herd them?
Into a valley.
Where they're where is this valley?
It's a few days, I suppose, north, west of here.
And they're still there?
Yeah. Last we
Interesting.
checked.
I'd love to see that.
Well, it's a very wet place. There's a lot of water, and there's plenty of things for them to eat, so they've been happy to stay there. I assume
good.
they got pushed out of whatever ecosystem they had in the city, so we're
Yeah,
just able to find some place where they fit a little bit better than just wandering the mountains.
sure. I mean, the Coil's constantly moving things around in the city. They might have been living in the sewers or on one of the places where a platform got expanded onto.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like it was a good solution.
It has worked out so far.
Do your necklaces react to the undead?
Apparently not.
Oh, it might not necessarily be the case. He seems to be very good at blending in.
When we get back, I'll have to ask one of the elders if they're supposed to.
It's a good testing system, I suppose.
Yes.
Does the were-rat on guard largely just stay quiet?
It has so far.
How'd you get chosen for this mission?
Which one are you talking to?
The were-rat.
Okay. Oh, get on Cho's bad side, get sent out of the city.
What'd you do to piss her off?
Well, I did the worst possible thing.
Oh?
I expanded the family without asking.
Yeah, I can see that. What happened to your new family member?
Oh, they're doing just fine.
That's good, at least.
Really, Cho is the sort of person who will make the best out of everything. This person that I brought in was a former Coil bureaucrat, so there was a lot of information there to be had. I thought I was doing the right thing. Really chose taking a lot of advantage from it, but that doesn't mean that she can't use this law that she laid down to extract behavior from me.
Wrong for the right reasons.
Yeah. And the punishment certainly is convenient for her and the family, so I'm happy to play along.
Anything pertinent to our current mission that the bureaucrat was able to bring? Okay.
No, this guy was mostly involved in overseeing the some waterways, so that is something that paid off pretty immediately.
You haven't had any Capricorn trouble since you guys settled in?
No, we heard that there was an incident in one of the ritzier districts, but
Yeah, that was interesting.
were you involved?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Were you involved in just all the major upheavals that have happened in New Mawakal recently?
I mean, I wouldn't say all of them, but we were involved on the raid on the Black Archive.
Oh.
That's kind of what led us here, so.
Well, you're a lot braver than me. I definitely would not have gone in there.
Yeah, it was not the smartest of decisions, but it was kind of what needed to be done. And here's hoping that it set the foreground for our laid the foundation for success here, because we seem to have chased their resource out into a, at least more exposed place in the archive, which was terrible.
Well, if both parties are improvising, it seems like you might actually be at an advantage here. That's kind of what I'm getting from your crew,
That we're good at improv.
pretty much.
It's true. They didn't have to do much improvising at the archive. We were hitting them at their strongest possible point. And I don't think they're going to see our very strange group coming for them.
Well, good. Element of surprise and all, right?
Indeed. I'm otherwise satisfied to let the watch pass.
Okay. The watch passes. So, cat and a rat and an elf.
Yarp.
Okay.
Oh, man. Cat and an
And
elf.
a rat and an elf. All one word.
And a rat.
Ket and a rat and an elf. Hashtag.
And a bird and an imp.
And
Yep.
a movie.
At a pizza place.
Yes.
Seriously, one of the first things I'm going to do is summon Shadow and then have Guy pop out.
Okay.
Just to keep an extra set of eyes out. Or
All right.
to triple my field of vision.
Okay. Your elf seems particularly perturbed by this watch.
Oh, Guy can remain invisible.
Yeah, he can still hear him.
Okay. It's not my problem.
All right. So, you've got all kinds of little animals keeping a watch for you.
Pretty much. Can I identify the rat?
Yeah, this is actually the rat you've been hanging out with. This is Maba.
And I can actually recognize that at this point?
You heard her talk, and they do seem, even in the rat form, they have like distinctive voices. So that's how you were able to figure it out.
So, is there any easy way to tell you guys apart?
Not in rat form, unless you have a very good sense of smell.
Not particularly.
Then I suppose not. Voice, maybe.
Yeah. That's how I caught you. So how exactly did you end up in this situation?
I think Cho trusts me. When your vampire showed up, she was very curious. And then when she found out Little Sparkle was involved, I think that kind of sealed it.
Does she and Sparkle have a past?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah. Sparkle's band, or whatever, Truant Guild, or whatever they call themselves, they pretty much broke the Sewerkin out of coil control, sort of. They had a thing go wrong. And a very enterprising creature took over the situation, and it was the Free Enterprise who busted that up.
Huh.
I think that big guy was there too. Not the bird, though.
Yeah, apparently the bird's even newer at this than we are.
You think he's gonna make it?
We'll try to see that he does.
That's good. She seems to be looking out for him, so that's good.
As they've been friends for a while. So, what are you good at?
Well, I'm pretty quiet. Also, I'm pretty strong, but not at the same time.
Fair enough.
Did you mean me specifically or the sewerkin in general?
Bit of both.
Well, not every were-rat expresses in the same way, but in general, most of us learn to take rat form, human form, and either a hybrid form or a monstrous rat form.
And the group that Cho sent out, do you know most of them have experience?
Yes, in one form or another. Mostly, there's one ranger and the rest of them are soldiers for all intents and purposes. But again, natural gifts allow us to move pretty quietly.
Right.
Also, there are other gifts that can be parlayed from the curse, turning into an actual whole swarm of rats is one. There are strange sorceries that come naturally to some, especially where disease is concerned. I'm not sure if anybody here has those abilities, but it might be something to research.
Right. I'll turn to the elf.
Yep. She is just looking straight forward.
Your name?
Lelda.
Lelda?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I've worked with elves before. Is there anything your particular group is well suited to?
Well, we know the mountains very well. We also, every elven child learns to fend for themselves out in the mountains. That involves moving quietly and unseen to avoid predators. Also, every elven child knows how to take care of themselves should a skirmish erupt. Everyone here is capable with weaponry.
All right. Any particular special focuses any of you have?
None that I think would be relevant, other than the fact that all of us have dealt with locust tanks before.
That's helpful. Actually, if we could get a hold of one or two of those, that would also be helpful.
We suspect there may be some at this place where we're going.
Yeah. They're not as difficult to pilot as you might expect.
I would not expect anything out of that. Those things seem very alien to me.
Fair. Figure any sort of a extra large firepower will probably help in taking down this camp, this site.
Well, that may be, but as far as we elves are concerned, we're better at tactically taking things out. We are not an overwhelming frontline force. That is not how we tend to operate.
Nor was I planning on sending it that way.
Are you your group's stratego?
Yes. Typically.
And what can your group do?
Oh, lots of things. It's hard to keep track anymore. Sparkle's stealthy, and if she catches you from behind, you're probably going to lose a couple of organs. It's also good just kind of getting in and out of places. Can often
That's useful.
her way out of things almost as well as I can. Sometimes better, it seems, down here.
Well, it works when you know the layout. I suppose that's true of social interactions as well.
Yeah. Sakar is mostly a beat stick.
A beat stick.
He hits hard, keeps things focused on him.
Ah,
He's also fairly in tune with nature. But tactically speaking, it's mostly just have him hit the biggest thing in the room.
oh yes. We have one of those too. We refer to him as a defender.
Yeah. I think that's what the books would call it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Orm and Randus know arcane magic from entirely different schools of thought.
Yes, Randus is the one that has mechanical parts.
Yeah. He created all of those himself.
He's not tied to the coil.
No. He's what's Randus's title at this point?
Warden
of the
Warden.
Southwest, I believe.
He's actually a warden of one of the kingdoms on the central continent.
Oh. I have no knowledge of the central continent.
No.
So. But this is a large title, I assume. Otherwise, you would not have brought it up.
Yeah.
He's in charge of a section of that country.
Pretty much. From what I understand. He hasn't been doing much of that since we've reconnected. What with us?
That seems simpler. Here there are city-states, but also companies that expand over city-states. Who controls what in human terms is very confusing.
Yeah, I'm still trying to grasp everything that's going on down here.
Mm.
And Orms the Eladrin uses magic he learned from his Fey college,
I see.
which, if he catches any talking about, he'll go on and on about. Yeah, so they've got access to just a little bit of everything.
I see.
Also, Randus is a great healer.
Oh, good. I think that is going to be necessary.
Probably.
What about the Minotaur?
Oh, he is an old friend of Sparkles. Used to be part of their. He was in a truant group with her, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his abilities all that well as of yet. We've only interacted basically from the city to here.
Well, if you're going to be coming up with a strategy, perhaps you should know your group well.
That's the plan. That's part of the reason for this conversation.
What about the other bird?
He is probably going to be needing more protection than being of help.
I
It
see.
seems. He did provide us with some information about the coil back in the city that turned out mostly fruitful.
Is he one of their bureaucrats?
I believe he was.
Well,
I'm not sure.
that is something that this group may have well above us. We do not really understand these bureaucracies. So if you have anybody with experience, that might actually prove useful.
True. Yeah. I have a feeling he's going to be helpful with getting us in there and around, but if anything goes wrong, someone's going to have to keep an eye on him.
Well, something to consider. And the gray-skinned creatures?
I'm not certain yet. The angry one doesn't really like us.
Yes. The one that is definitely not dressed to be in the mountains.
I say, were any of the three dressed to be in the mountains?
The Queen's Rebellious Daughter is dressed to travel, and the other guy's wearing robes, so at least he's wearing something comfortable.
Ah.
And, a travel turban.
Yeah. Travel turban is important.
Yeah.
What was his title?
Matthew.
Hello.
What's his name again?
Whose name? Oh, the Sagacious Orbit Pioneer?
Yes.
Okay.
What's his name?
It's the Sagacious Orbit Pioneer.
Great.
He is a pioneer, presumably of orbits, who is sagacious in nature. Or like
possibly
a
none
sage.
of these things, because their names are apparently not actually indicative of anything about them.
Right. His name is the Nose Baseball Hieroglyphic Hopscotch Pouch.
Pretty much. Well, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
that they're not indicative. It just means they're not literal.
Right.
Oh. Queenie seems rather rebellious most of the time.
There you go.
And he does seem rotund, which could imply an orbital nature. He may have
Being
specific
stuck with
gravity.
a fat joke for a name for eternity.
Right? You feel bad for Jack Porkins, don't you?
So bad.
I've met a strong cobra and a powerful cobra, but never a fat cobra.
Good pool.
Just met the Pioneer when we left the city. So I don't know what he's capable of yet. And
What manner of creature are they?
what sort of were we told how much were we told we could or could not share?
It's pretty much implicit that what you were told only because you guys are in the inner circle.
Make a bluff check.
They're from beyond. Just say they're from
They're
beyond.
extra planar.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Seem to be pretty powerful most of the time, at least from what I've seen with Queen's Rebellious Daughter. Haven't worked with the other two all that much, but they seem to have a lot of resources available to them that will probably prove useful.
I see.
Say, who's the tactician in your group?
Now that would be me.
Oh, good. So we'll probably need to work together. Maba? I should
Yeah.
be close by to listen to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Same question?
This group's not big on tactics. I think Cho specifically sent the beat sticks, as you put it.
Hit 'em quick, hit 'em hard.
That tends to be our way of handling things, but most of the time we're in our own territory, so this puts us at a disadvantage, which of course you can see as countered by the advantage that rats can basically be anywhere.
Yep. Said it's a week to the place.
Yes.
I think. So we've got 7 days to figure this out. I do not want to go in there as half-cocked as we were at the tower.
Well, did you get a chance to look at the tower?
Some.
Then almost no matter what, you're going to go in, from context, I'm guessing half-cocked. We are going to be assaulting a place that I'm going to guess we're going to have minutes to assess. Unless it happens to be in a very disadvantageous position, which I sincerely doubt. But knowing what you have on hand would be very helpful.
So we should probably work together over the next week.
Yeah, just whatever questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them. And whatever information you want to share would also be welcome. And she points at nothing.
Which nothing.
That nothing. You know which nothing.
Okay. Oh, you noticed him?
He's not very quiet.
Fair. You can come out.
Zoop.
That's Guy.
A devil?
An imp. Book type specifically.
You know those things are evil, right?
Yeah, but they're also bound by contract usually,
I see.
which is his case. I won his services in a game.
Yeah, legends about winning things in games certainly never go badly.
Some of those legends are a lot more true than you would think.
Hmm. What about that bird?
That was an accident.
You have a spirit bird by accident?
Yes. I've become a lot more in tune with nature since he showed up.
Well, eagle spirits are said to be wise.
Yeah. I didn't get a cleansing when I probably should have.
Ah. Well, it seems to have worked out.
More or less. I've also definitely won a lot more than just Guy in games.
Yes. Well, maybe you don't need to go into detail about all of your successes. Something tells me that some of them are objectionable.
Sometimes. Not
It's all
everybody
right.
understands.
Like your friend said, something strange bedfellows.
True. True.
You know, we live very isolated lives, so it's very easy to assume that one's way is the right way, and it really takes meeting a group of strangers trying to do the right thing to really put that in perspective. Surely, if everybody behaved like the elves, there wouldn't be too many problems, but who are we to say that that would be good?
Can't imagine some people even trying to behave like you.
No. And we understand, at least I do, that it's impossible. Elves are in tune with the world in a different way than everybody else. Things that seem obvious and natural to us are completely alien to other people. And I think that's what has caused conflict in the past between elves and humans and elves and orcs and other creatures in other continents.
The group's not understanding that
That they perceive things different.
Or-
Yep. At a fundamental level, the perceptions are different.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. And there's also the bids for power.
There is that.
Which is where we're wrapped up in. Again.
Well, I think pretty much everybody here agrees that the coil is the worst possible thing, at least around these mountains. So, in their pursuit of power, they have made more enemies that one could even count.
Wish we could harness all of them.
Well, as you know, being a strategist, it would be a difficult force to bring to bear.
Yeah. I'm used to working with large, awkward forces.
Well, right now you have, from my estimation, about 4 separate small awkward forces. So as your group holds all the common threads, you are probably going to have to figure out a way to smooth that out and get everybody working together. The rats have no reason to listen to us, and those gray individuals are not anything that any of us are familiar with. So you all are going to have to marshal this and get everybody working together, is my guess, to succeed.
Yeah. I just hope all of those gray individuals, as you put it, will listen.
Well, I suppose that even if they don't, there's probably a way to at least point them in the direction you want.
And we'll find out when we get there. Hey, Orem.
Yes.
How many people can we link at once? Telepathic bond, got it.
Already?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for
I
my
had the compendium up.
thing to load.
There you go. It wasn't accepting
Right,
my
Telepathic
pitch.
you and up
bond.
to 8 allies.
8
Yeah.
allies.
So 9 dudes.
Male or female.
Well, non-gendered dudes.
Dude's gender neutral term. I'm a dude. He's a dude.
Yeah,
She's a
so, but
We're all dudes.
I wonder if any of the are any of the elves magic casters? Would they maybe know this too? And they could
Doesn't seem like it. I mean,
wonder if you
can
could
ask.
create a daisy chain network like.
Probably.
You
You might be able to make a scroll at least.
moderately high level of caster.
If you and Randus both know it, does that mean a total of 18?
It doesn't, because
There'd
people
be
that
two
weren't on
less.
any given group would not be able to communicate with someone else.
But you'd have a single point, right?
You could, but then again,
Have people like
do
this
you really need everybody linked?
Eh.
Like,
That's true.
Have you ever read
Work in pods,
Aware
pods, and
Kinsman?
just have a point man that will report.
which
to-
honestly, once you get into it, makes more sense. Like,
Mhm.
if everybody's shouting into the communicator, it can get a little dicey.
Mhm.
Swarm!
We
Swarm!
need evacuation now. It's a bloodbath.
It's a bug hunt, man! Game over! Game over!
Well,
Those are moments coming from future episodes of Critical Hit.
we are
Very much.
trying to avoid the nuke it from orbit
Well,
option.
it is the only way to be sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we're afraid of.
Yeah. So about 9 people
9.
in one go.
Not about 9.
Okay. All right. And you'll have to be one of them, right?
Yes.
The caster, yeah. I don't know the ritual, so yeah.
You're sleeping.
Well, this okay. This can be out of character strategizing,
Sure.
as long as we dive back in character at some point.
Thought I did dive back into character.
Okay, that's fine then.
We're back. Hooray. I'll shut up now. I'm not here.
Well, you are. You're just snoring.
Do vampires snore?
I don't know.
Sakaar does not snore.
Apparently not.
Oh, good. Good to know.
So you can link up 9 of us at once?
9. Exactly 9, that includes me.
All right. That should be all right. Don't need everybody.
The leaders of each group, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I think you can... And then maybe a second...
Probably.
Maybe we can equal if we divide into groups, which I'm sure we will. A couple from each group, evenly distributed, because some may fall.
Yeah.
Some may abandon their post.
I don't think this group's going to. Ket's gonna just kind of start taking some notes, writing some things down.
Okay.
Think the 2. Oh, Maba was a lady too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Stupid fly, get out of my face. I thank the 2 ladies for their insight and start.
Getting ready to go?
Yeah, well, depending on what time it is.
Yeah, it's about time to get everybody back up.
All right, yeah, start getting everybody back up.
Yeah.
Or you want to start waking people up?
Why, yes, Kat, I will.
All right,
Randus, wake up.
Yeah.
Go wake up some people.
go over and shake someone else.
Sakaar. It's
Yeah.
morning.
Thank you.
Did you sleep well?
I did.
Did you eat well? I say, did you eat well?
And I chose not to respond.
You didn't eat anything that's going to upset your tummy later, did you?
I think we should prepare to travel.
We are
Sparkle?
preparing to travel.
Then we should continue to prepare to travel.
He's just making idle chit chat.
Little Sparkle.
Uh,
It's time to wake up.
Hmm.
Hey, Queenie.
My elf
Poke her with a
friends, wake up to this glorious day.
Continue
no
poking
one
her with my
likes someone
stick.
who's this cheerful in the morning.
What? Stop it.
TH?
It's time to get up.
Oh, okay.
And I would prefer for you to wake up your compatriots because, well, I know
Yeah, I
she
get
already
it.
doesn't like me.
No, it's okay. I'll do it, and I'll do it gently. And she just kind of like, the inspector is kind of got like a little bit of a kind of has a cot that she brought, and the Queen's Rebellious Daughter just kind of like tips it over on her way to
Pioneer.
wake up the pioneer.
Gently, I say.
Hmm.
And seriously, like, she flips the cot over, and the inspector lands basically like one-handed push-up style, and then just like pushes away and just stands up perfectly and like grabs her umbrella and like puts it over her shoulder.
Nice.
Too cool for school.
She really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
She's just like obnoxiously cool.
She's never had morning hair or morning breath.
Nope. She actually looks fine. That's the thing. She's been traveling in basically a very fancy maitre d' outfit this whole time, and it is spotless. It's like Orem level spotless.
I'm impressed.
Yes. Her cloth foo is strong.
Yes.
The Pioneer, not so much. He's got some twigs in his turban, but he like fishes them out. Teach gets up. Tekiotl gets up.
How big is Teach comparative?
Teach is he's a little over 6 feet tall, but it's like the way that his body is built, because of his kind of like digitigrade thing he's got going on. He kind of like leans forward. I guess ongulate thing he's got going on. He like leans forward. So you would imagine if he could like really straighten up his legs and his back and everything, he'd probably be a good, 7 feet, maybe a little more at the horns. But the way he stands, he's, at about 6'5".
About Sakar's eye level then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's pretty massive.
Yeah.
Everybody gets up. The rats come out. Some of them are humans right now. So there's like 2 humans and 5 rats.
They just look like normal humans?
Pretty much, except they look like death. They're like, they don't look very healthy.
Normal humans who live in a sewer.
Yep, normal humans who live in a sewer, don't eat right, don't get enough sleep.
I would imagine
So-
you probably don't eat it right or get enough sleep if you live in the sewer.
So call center
Unless you're a
employees.
turtle.
Yeah, pretty much. They look like call center folk.
I know the feeling.
Well, I think now that we're awake, it's time to take a break. On this
We're all
week-
going to have breakfast. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
Yep.
Until then, podcastmajorspoilers.com. Keep circulating the tapes and spreading the good word. 5-star reviews on iTunes, much appreciated. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2016 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.